There we go. You just have to see if someone else is joining us online.
Yep.
Everybody, welcome to this party meetup. Party?
Yeah.
Partner. Let's call it a party meetup. To this partner meetup I think it's the third or the fourth time that we're holding this partner meetup together. Today, it will be all about preparing for the conference in April. My name is Åsa Johansen.
My name is Elin Eriksson.
I'm Elin Brevitz. Michelle Alm.
And I think that you know that Elin and I are representing Women in Tech, and these other beautiful ladies are from One Motion, who's the event agency that we have here. I will start out the presentation. There will be a lot of information. It are now recorded for those who will share this afterwards, but we will send out the presentation, of course, to you later on. But I think we'll hit it off. If you have any questions that you think is important to take right now, we take them. Otherwise, we'll take them afterwards. Is that right? Good.
So presentation and then more time to mingle. And as always, we encourage you to talk to someone you didn't know before. As we could see, an icebreaker is to show what's on your start screen and tell the story about why I have a cat and she has a dog and we're still friends. So that would be something for you to try out, the people in the room, and also online, of course, if you can share your screens.
Perfect. So this is you. This is our partners. This thanks to you that we can continue doing this for the 11th year. It's fantastic. Thank you so much for joining Women in Tech. And as you can see, Accenture and EY are our main partners, and we have Infosys as well. Stefan and Kai, who's in Germany, are joining us online, but they will be at the waterfront on the February 15th if you want to meet them there. And where are we? We are at the beautiful Studio Book. This is One Motion's fantastic studio, where you can have both online presentation, you can have offline parties. I've seen there's been a lot of parties here as well. And it's a fantastic way to get in. And someone mentioned the light, that it's so comfortable and feel like a big hug coming in here with this fantastic furniture and the setup in here. And we know that, if there's something that you would like to use to Studio Book, please reach out to One Motion. They will be more than happy to help you arrange something here as well. We are going to get ready for this year's conference. But first, some of you were there last year, some of you were not. So here's a little bit of a recap what happened last year. Maybe. The mute button is up.
Oh,
It's just
the mute
over.
button is just above
How
the
do
play
we
button.
do that? Do you see what I? No, we don't.
But that's your slide, isn't it? So you can start it.
You can start it. Kai and Stefan, I will send you the presentation later. You can start the film. Nej, den är inte ansluten.
It was a great ambience at the Waterfront Congress Center anyway.
But how do you? Why doesn't it?
The link is on YouTube. That's right.
But då kommer det gå där.
We will show you the movie after the big presentation, right? Yeah.
Or
Maybe.
Oh, tech. So what we're doing is we're having the slides for this big screen on this computer, and then we have the meeting on the other computer, which kind of messes it up when you also don't want notifications on the presentation computer. So we had to put that online, but then we had the file online. So, it's been 4 years of digital meetings, and here we are.
We have snacks and bubbles.
But should we just move on instead? Yeah. Anyway, what we did at the Waterfront Congress Center in 23 was Can I use the quote from Anna?
Please.
Yeah. Also had a meeting with the former mayor of Stockholm yesterday, Anna Koenig-Hjalmar, a really solid supporter for women in tech issues, and she's also been at the conference many times. She had just gotten back from Davos, from the World Economic Forum, and she said they got nothing on women in tech. So as a conference, as a place where people share and where they care, this is a unique spot. So that's what you're going to bring life to. That's what you're supporting, and that's what you also are the most important part of, because you bring a lot of people and you bring a lot of energy. So we're so proud to be able to do this again. And we're staying at the Stockholm Waterfront Congress Center because it is the biggest and best venue in central Stockholm. And also when we ask, should we move to another venue? Should we do something else? Well, we just can't right now. If we move to another venue, that would be outside of the city. So this is where we are, and we're super proud to be able to once again welcome 2,500, mostly women, but all genders are welcome. And I'm happy to see that there are some men here today as well. You're most welcome. So these are slides that we can use right now? Yes, that's the question. But we have to get them on the big screen. Yes. And pretty soon. There we are.
Here we are. So some of you are new to us, but I think most of you have at least met me on the onboarding process. I'm the director of Women in Tech, and this is our creative director. This is the first year that we are investing more of our time into this. Previous years has been evenings and weekends that we've been doing this, and this year is the first time that we actually are stepping up and investing more of our work time in it, and it's going to be such a joy to doing it with more hours. But we have a lot of supporters in our team as well that often have other jobs, but they are helping us on their weekends and evenings. First of all, we have Sofia Andersson. Can you please stand up and wave? This is Sofia Andersson. She's been with us from her time at Accenture and now at the Microsoft as well. But from tomorrow morning, Sofia Andersson will be part of our board, the Women in Tech Sweden Association board. We're so happy to have you along. Good that you're here. Sofia is also part of what we call the PR and comms team. Elin Dahlback and Sofia Åqvist are helping us out with press releases, with the SoMe assets that you'll be receiving and so forth. So Sofia Andersson and Elin Dahlback, everybody's have the same first name. That's how we work, inclusion, diversity, you know. So they are working with PR, comms, and SoMe. So if you see their name, you know what they're working. Then we have Linda Birgersson, who's helping us out with onboarding this year. We're going into Salesforce. We have 22,000 members, and we have been having them in different kind of systems. But now we felt it's too much data to take care of on a GDPR perspective. So now we're starting to using Salesforce, and it's really, really smooth, and we're happy that they're helping us out with that. And then we have Anse Kroon here as well, helping us up with the business development. Speaking of having other roles, she's the CIO of Ventla, who's the meeting app or event app that we will use during the event. Yes, that's our team. And I think that the One Motion team, as we already presented, but we have some other One Motion team members in the house. Will you wave? There they are. So thank you so much for having us here at the Studio Book. So next.
Yeah, and you got this hopefully in the press memo that we sent a few weeks back. We're going to talk about the theme for the conference, and it's quite hard to set a theme for a conference in this really, really fast tech environment. But what is clear is that we have to talk about AI. We have to talk about how to stay human in a world that's going to be more artificial. So connect, create, and innovate is the main theme for the conference, because that's what we still need to do. It's what Women in Tech does. We provide network, inspiration, and role models to our members and to you, and we get it from you as well. And this is also something that we encourage that you do in-house when you think about how do you work with your Women in Tech and your tech team overall. Make sure to provide the inspiration, make sure to bring out the role models, and make sure that you really get a strong team that are proud of what they do. So the main theme, connect, create, and innovate. We have to work together. we have to collaborate, and we have to have a secure team and have trust with each other to be able to innovate. So connect, create, innovate. But also in this era where we are like on the threshold of the big breakthrough for AI and general AI as well, we need to make sure that we shape the technology before it shapes us. So we have to make sure that in every byte of code that we put into our new crafts and tools and everything, we have to bring the human essence. And when it comes to that, we have to think about who are the humans who are shaping the tools. How many perspectives do we get into the tech that will actually shape us in the future? How many perspectives do we have in the team? How many perspectives do we have in the company? Because we're probably aiming for a pretty global market. So don't miss out on half of the population. Don't miss out on 10% of the population if that's an opportunity for you, and be responsible when it comes to it. So what I do, as also said, I work as a creative director. And that means that I am the one who is actually putting together the program. Of course, this is something that we talk about together, but I'm mostly the one who's hunting for speakers, who's looking at pitches. And some of you have already reached out with a lot of great names, and I'm happy for that. And keep doing that. Because I will also talk about the focus session, but every time that you tell me a story, that is a person that can tell a story on one of our stages, that is something that it brings me to see what trends there are. If many people pitch a certain type of story, and I can see that this is the person that could actually talk about it, that is very, very valuable. And even though it might not be on stage this time, it might be in 2 years, or it might be if we do something in the fall, or if we think about doing something in Almedalen. So I'm really happy to get those pitches from you. We can do the next slide. And I will do it over here. Okay, thank you. The agenda is familiar to those who have been at the conference, and for those of you who have been creating it with us for many years. We open the doors at 8. We open the main stage at 9. We stay at the main stage. We have some coffee, back to the main stage, and then we break for lunch. After lunch, we break out to the focus sessions. They run in 2 time slots and are often about 10 or 11 focus sessions that run in parallel. So as a participant, I get to choose from a menu of about 11 focus sessions at 1 o'clock. And then I go grab a coffee and find my next session. And hopefully I find my way at the Waterfront Congress Center, because it is a labyrinth. As you can see, there's time for coffee again. And then we meet at the main stage for some concluding talks and panels. And then we go for a mingle and networking session. So this is like the basic layout of the agenda. It also means for you as a partner, every time we have coffee or lunch, you need to be at your stands. You need to make sure that you have people at the booth, because this is when all the participants will start swarming out of the big conference room. So be ready. And I would also say, make sure that you have at least one person who's at the stand, even when something's happening on the main stage, because some people will take a break. Someone will need to go use the bathroom, and someone will take a meeting. That's just who we are. And it's also a time for you as partners to get to know your neighbor, your neighboring in the next stand. So make sure that you have one person in the stand for all times. Yeah, I'm moving on fast on to next one, the focus sessions. So the focus sessions, why do we have them? We have them to get even more role models on women in tech stages, but also it gives an opportunity for the participants to deep dive into something that you are really interested in. The main stage tends to be quite wide when it comes to topics. There has to be something for everyone to sort of relate to. We might not be able to dive really deep into a specific type of programming language or a specific type of methods to workshop or work agile or something like that. So this could be something where you as a partner showcase something really specific. You can be quite narrow and go quite deep, You can do it as a workshop, you can do it as a talk, you can do it as a panel, you can do it as a speed dating session. This is really up to you. So if you book a focus session, there is a cost to it, because what we do is that we allocate a room. Every square centimeter at the Waterfront Congress Center is expensive. And there is a camera crew that makes sure that this is live broadcasted or live streamed on our website, and also that you get a video afterwards that you can use at your own purposes. So it's after the lunch break, and you have about 45 minutes in the room, which means there's time for people to get in and get out. So think maybe 35 minutes for the actual session. And there's a possibility for you to use what we call a lead scan to make sure that you know who was in the room and that you can contact them afterwards. We'll get to the lead scan pretty soon. Anything else about the focus session? Yeah, the cost is 45,000 SEK. So that is an add-on for those of you who want to do it. And sometimes we have other nonprofits that we actually invite to do this if there is a slot that is available. If we have like an unbooked room, you might see that there's an organization that would not have 45,000 to cash, but we want their presence anyway. All right, next one. The form. This is how to apply for a focus session. So this is where you pitch, this is where you tell who would speak, this is where you tell about what's the main theme and so on. And the person to contact is me, who's right over here, waving in the back, and you can see her on the slides as well. So me is one of the people helping out to just make sure that we get the focus sessions in a straight, perfect line. And she will also be at the scene when this is happening, and there will be volunteers helping out as well. So, yep. Next slide then.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you wanted to add something to the focus session?
No.
No? Okay. Before, during, and after. Should we do this one together?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think one of the main reasons why we put you together in the same room before the event is to learn from each other. But I think both me and Elin, and of course these professionals, has been working with events pretty much our professional lives. So I think before, during, after is something to think about every time that you create an event. And doesn't mean that we want to kick out an open door already. We know that you are professionals at this as well. But let us elaborate a little bit about what we think that you should do before, during, and after. During will be most vast of what we will talk about today, but definitely before and after. But I think to start with, do your homework and do your why. Why are we participating in Women in Tech? Why is it important for us? What's the return of investment that we get? We keep saying that it's not a recruitment fair, but of course it is at one sense. When it comes to show off your employer brand, to show off what positions you need, but also to make sure that we are all reaching out to actually change the tech industry and make it more sustainable. So I think the first part there is to engage your team internally. Ask them. Ask the women in your company what they would like to tell other people about why it's so important that we get DEI into the tech industry. Because I think that is, and I know there's a lot of you have done that before, and please share that with each other during the mingle to get that input. It's so valuable.
And it also gives you a really good foundation to be able to say that, yeah, we've really done our homework at the team when you meet the participants at the Waterfront Congress Center, and make sure that you find out what makes people proud, what makes people happy to do the job at your offices, what makes their hearts sing. Why is this important? And that goes back to, we talk about bringing inspiration. We all know that there's a problem with the tech industry when it comes to gender and diversity and equality. We need to address that, and that's a job very much for you as a company to make sure that you can do whatever work it takes. But to get more women into tech and to make women stay in tech, we cannot only focus on the problem. We also have to tell what's the joy, what's the purpose, how do I feel when I created a real change in this product, when I saw that we could actually include more people from a diverse background. So make sure to bring the joy. to the conference, and also make sure that you celebrate in your teams and ask them, what are you most proud of right now? What would you want us to tell at the conference? And an interesting thing is a lot of women tend to be speakers for the very first time on a Women in Tech stage, because it's a quite safe environment. So this is where you can actually take that step and take the stage. And that could be a small stage in your own stand to be able to meet people and say, I'm proud of this, but also on a focus session or on the big stage. Do the homework, big thing.
I also think that when you are there, and maybe this is the during everything waves into each other, but there are 3 different kind of participations when you're there. There are the ones working in your stand, and it doesn't have to be the 3 one that we are dedicated the 3 tickets to. You have 20 tickets if you're co-creating partners. All of them from your company could be participating in the stand one way or another, as a speaker or as a role model or someone who's engaging something into something fun that you create in the stand. But make sure that you help them prepare. What is the first question? How do I engage with them? What do I take into next step? We'll talk about lead scans and other things later on, but how do I get the first step? How do I approach someone that I haven't met before, that's just passing by without being a sales guy? So do a little bit of an in-house training and preparations for them who's working in the stand. The same for the focus sessions, because that's a role model you're putting on stage as well, not only for the 45 minutes. They will talk to them afterwards, it will maybe be before. Make sure that that person is prepared as well. What can I say? What do you want me to say? What do I want to say? So preparation there as well. But I also want to highlight the persons who's there who doesn't have an official role from your company, and how decided to distribute your tickets. They are also there as ambassadors or role models from your company. What should they talk about when it comes to your company? What's the joy and what's the good employee branding things that you want other people to hear about when they mingle and network on the stage or on the floor, I would say.
And speaking of the during the conference, this is a balance, of course. No, you're not there to just recruit people and get leads like that, but also be prepared that people will ask, how can I do a thesis? How can I get into your company? Who could I talk to about this role or this interesting project? So make sure that you have some sort of ways of getting in contact. It could be super simple, just to sign up on this iPad, or it could be something else. You could have a competition, you scan this one, do the competition, come get a lunch with our CDO. I mean, you can be really creative, and just be prepared that those kind of questions can come, even if you're not going to sort of sell them to everyone. And after the conference, it's easy to be really tired. After a conference like this, you will be tired. You will be tired from talking and from listening and from just the bare noise of 2,500 people. And even if you drink coffee all day, you will be tired. But the next day, be ready to be purple on LinkedIn and be ready to send your messages to the people that you actually met. And even if you don't do it the very day after, do it after the weekend or something, but reach out. Because these are people that have been funneled into you from our 22,000 members to the 2,500 that were at the event, to the people that actually reached out and talked to you and gave you their contact info. I mean, you would ask a recruiter to give you that. It would be more expensive than being a partner here, I would say. So that's one thing. But also gather your team again and take learnings and see what can we do even better, and what are we proud of, and celebrate that you did it. Because as a team, and I have been a partner, I was with Bonnier when we started this many years back, so I know that it's a thrill and it's a challenge to be on that conference floor, and make sure that you really celebrate that with your team, I would say.
I think the overall word is preparation, to make sure that you prepare before, also during, but also a lot of things you can pre-do. So when you're that tired after the conference, the email text is set. You know who's going to send it out, what we're going to send it out, who we're going to send it out to. So you get the momentum. That's what we are searching for. Yeah.
All right.
Now,
The important information. These are the practicalities.
Now we need a hand mic.
Michelle, can we ask you to stand over here so they can
Okay.
see you in the...
So my name is Michelle, as I told you before, and I will be your contact person when it comes to everything regarding your stand or your booth, as we also call it. And I just want to go through some practical information during this day and the day beforehand. So the conference is, as you all know, 17th of April. And it is at Waterfront. The day before this, you will have a couple of hours to set up your booth and your stand. It will be open from 1 o'clock until 7 o'clock. And then on April 17th, you also have 1 hour in the morning time to just set up some easier fixes, like if you have some candy balls or something that you want to put out. With dismantling, I want to be really clear that it's from 7 o'clock until 10:30 and not earlier than 7 o'clock, because there will still be people in the mingle area talking to you guys, and we want to make it as good as an experience as possible.
I want to step in.
Step in.
There's no dismantling before 7 o'clock.
Yes?
If there's any questions around that, they will be not answered. There will be no dismantling before 7 o'clock for different reasons. One is security, because there are a lot of trucks that's going around and with people moving around in that. So start dismantling is becoming a construction area. And we don't have an insurance for that. Neither do you. No dismantling before 7. The other reason is it doesn't look good. When half of the stands are dismantling and are being, why are they not staying for the whole mingle? So this is a no-go zone. We are not dismantling after 7. Questions? Perfect. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Thank you. So you will also be able to deliver some of your booth material things to Waterfront if you want to. And then you will have to write really clearly on the package everything that is from your company, is going to Waterfront, is for the Women in Tech conference. And they will only receive these deliveries during April 16th. So, you know, not beforehand. And another thing that we want to be really clear with is that there are no possibilities for storing at Waterfront. So everything that you want to get rid of, you have to take care of that on your own, in your own car or some other solution, or maybe if you have some kind of storage in your own booth, but no other place at the conference. And we will also have a help desk, of course. You have been there before, know that the green disc is the help desk place where you will find me or my colleagues to answer all of your questions and make sure that you will find your way around Waterfront. And yes, also important information about your stand. We are here as One Motion to help you with everything that you need if you want to order add-ons or create different kind of experiences or activations in your stand. But also I want you to be clear on what that is included in your stands. So the main partners that has a 6x4 meter stand, and the co-creator partner that is a bit smaller, but also with 3 meters. And there you have all of the details that are included. This will also be in the form that you will receive later on, and you can see what's included and what you want to add on to that one. And just to be clear, on the balcony, if you are placed on the balcony, your stand can't be 2.5 meters. The limit there is 2 meters. But we will get to that later when you receive your positions. We also have a preliminary position map, preliminary, just to try to explain how the positioning is going to look like. You have been there before and knows that the entrance is here. And here is where the big conference is going to take place. And here is where the mingle area is. I'm sorry, you guys on the screen couldn't see this, but
We'll show them.
we'll show them later. Yeah. So the main partners here will be placed in the middle, and all of the other guys will be placed around them, pretty much like that. And we also have on the balcony on floor 5, like this. Like this.
And I think what also to be said that when we meet on Waterfront on the 15th of February, when we have our on-site meeting, then we will put out different notes on where you will stand, will be positioned. And there's a lot of wishes sometimes about being up on the balcony or not being up on the balcony, be in the corner, not be on the corner. So a lot of that is going to be taken care of in what we will tell you about this form as well, or Google form. So if you have some wishes, some of you can move around very easily. Some has been learned that being up on a balcony is fantastic because it's a little bit calmer, it's not that crowded, but some want to be downstairs on the big floor with a height to ceiling and so forth. So this is something you have to talk to Michelle about if you have some special wishes.
And when we say that it's calmer, it doesn't mean that you don't get visitors.
And not
Because-
crowd, and not calmer in that sense, more
Yeah.
maybe of the sound barrier. So yeah.
So there are, I mean, everyone, and I think those of you who have been there and have your stands, you can witness that, yes, you will have visitors. You will have people in your stand and in your booth. And there will be plenty of opportunities to actually engage with the participants, regardless of where you get your stand.
But more about that in details when we meet on Waterfront.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and also we know that it can be difficult to brainstorm your stand or your booth design. So we at One Motion are here to help you with everything regarding your stand if you want to. We have taken the liberty to create some examples for you how to create your stand. Before I get to that, we also have small add-ons such as table, chairs, candy bowls, and balloons or something like that. Or we can help you with big design, such as your whole stand, pretty much. We have some examples here in the next slide. We have created stand A, B, and C for you guys. So if you don't want to do this yourselves, we can help you. I can just go through quickly, like number A is with a back wall, a desk, and a TV screen. So you can show your material like that if you want to. And the B design is with a desk on the back side next to your back wall instead of in the front. And we also have like a LED screen on top. If you want to, you can have this with or without the LED screen, of course. And the third one is a kind of different version, like you can have activity or something inside of that, how to call it, arch, and a LED screen in the back or without LED screen. It's all up to you. All of the prices and all the details and everything will be in the form as well. So there we also have a lot of different examples to what you can add on to your stand.
Yes, and just to be clear there, the thoughts we have about those are very flexible, and it will, of course, be in your brand, not the
It will not look like
this.
this.
It will be specifically designed together with you, just so you know that.
And I think this is something we asked One Motion to do now. We've been working together for many years to be a bit more an inspiration to you as well, because this is your window. There's going to be 39 partners at the Waterfront. So there's a lot of partners and there's a lot of discussions. Make sure that your stand stands out.
Yes, so this was just an example to see how you can work with your brand in different ways, pretty much.
And this is also good to know that Michelle is going to check your stands. So we know that you don't have the exact same message on the exact same place, or not everyone has a popcorn machine, because that would be quite silly. But also make sure that if you want to get inspired, or if you just want that really practical help, they have a full-sized workshop who can build this from scratch, and they can also just bring you a candy bowl. But it means that you don't have to bring it yourself.
Yeah, so all of these designs are made in-house. We don't buy it from another company. So this is One Motion, Production Republic is a part of that, and they will help you with this. Okay. Lucia?
Yes, we just thought that it would be fun to give you some other inspiration as well. So, and just to show you that we can help you with smaller things as well. So here we have some inspiration for activations that you can do in your booth, and that we can help you design and also order, of course, and deliver it to Waterfront and set it up for you. So if you have any wishes, you can always come to us with those. And Women in Tech, as most of you know, always have the photo booths on site, and that is a really great solution to show your brand on social media and other places to make LinkedIn purple.
Yeah.
So for this year, they give you the possibility to be a part of the photo booths and also set up some more photo booths on different areas. So if you want to be a part of that, you can just reach out to us in the Google form, and we will help you to set up some solutions for that.
And this is, of course, great examples, but you need to think about how would you make your brand pop, and how would this work with your theme, or what's your vision, or what's your agenda for the conference. But you can be as playful as you want to. And it's a great icebreaker to have someone say, oh, this is silly, can I take a look? And then you start the conversation. So bring something that makes people kind of curious and be playful. And if they want to take a picture, make sure that your logo is very visible. All right?
Yes, and in the forum, you can also put in a mark if you want to have some balloons or more simple decorations, and we can help you order everything, of course, in the design that we decide together. Yes, so just some smaller inspiration for you. And then we also have a new offer that we will tell you a little bit more about, but those are also solutions for you to bring people to your stand and have a nice time with them there, and yeah, just give them some snacks or something, and we can also help you order that so you have it delivered, that so it will match your brand and design. And for this year, we have also a offer that you can sponsor some of the snack times and food times, and so for breakfast example, you can sponsor that, and you can read more about that in the forum, but that's a great possibility for your brand to be visible all over the waterfront.
Yeah, we have an idea about having like sandwich carts rolling out sandwiches in the morning. Looking quite like that. So, I mean, we live in a very visual world. So if your brand would look good with sandwiches and a lot of women in tech people, this is your opportunity.
I also think, I mean, we are so happy that you are partners because we can give the tickets for free, but we're also giving coffee and lunch and everything else for free. And that eats, of course, a lot of the event budget to do the catering. So, I mean, just to offer sandwiches or bars or ice cream doesn't have to be 2,500. It could be some get, and we can split it up and see how we can activate that around sustainability as well, and how it connects with your trade, your brand and stuff like that. So I think it's could be worthwhile. You know, the event wrap that everybody's eating at the events, it gets a bit boring after a while. So please go home and see what you can. Maybe it's like 100 bottles that is branded with your name, maybe water bottles or smoothie bottles or something else like that. See whatever treats you can do, because it's a long day for everybody, and get the sugar high or something else to eat or drink makes a difference.
And it's popular too.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
And these are the guys that will make it pretty.
Yes. Yes, and then this is another new thing for this year, and we want to give you the possibility to make some spaces special at Waterfront, of course, with your branding. This is just one of the solutions that we have here, and that's to like brand up the toilets and have some fun messages in there, and also your branding all over the mirrors and everything in your colors. And that can also be a thing that it's fun for people to find just this toilet, and then you can also give them a hint to come to your booth and visit you. So it will be like a little scavenger hunt to find you.
For those of you who were there last year, we had the event, the app, and in that there were a lot of pictures of what's happening around at Waterfront. So this is perfect thing to show that you found an Easter egg, or that you actually found this hidden thing, or like you said, a treasure hunt or something like that. So that could be really fun as well.
I mean, this is something that we're doing for the first time as well. We tend to try to try new stuff. Okay. So if you have an idea where we could actually push something in the event app and say that, go find this, take a picture, upload it, do this, you will get this as prize, or do this and then go to the stand at floor 5 to find something. That is also another way of activating people in a playful way. So we're up for playful, fun Easter eggs, and to create that together with you. Here's the lead scan.
Yes,
Tell me about
Michelle,
widely.
here you go.
Okay, yes. To get back to what you talked about earlier in preparation and the follow-up, lead scan is a perfect tool to follow up with your connections at the conference. So as it says here, Women in Tech will not provide you with any contact information from the participants. Exactly. So you will have to take care of this yourself. Either if you talk to someone at the conference and exchange LinkedIn, or how do you want to do it. But if you have a focus session or people in your stand, it's great to have a lead scanning tool, which means pretty much that you will scan the visitors, and then you will be able to contact them after the conference. So this we will have as an offer both to your stand and your focus session. So if you only want one, we will offer the price of 2,000. But if you want two, one separate from the focus session and one in your stand, we will have 3,000 price.
And then we tested this last year for some of you who were there. It's the same company that's helping us with the ticket. So on the badge, there will be a QR code. So that's how you can scan that code. So it becomes like a contact.
You don't need anything extra to do this. Only the lead scanning tool in your hand, like in a web app. Yeah. So everything will already be there. You'll just have to be able to scan the cards. Yeah.
You do it your way.
Yeah.
To make it convenient.
Yeah. But we really recommend it because it's a really easy way to get a hold of your contacts after.
This was one of the things that we tested out last year, and it was good. So now we cannot offer it for free anymore. It was a test last year, and now we want to see that you can find a big advantage in using it. So the stand form is the next one.
Exactly. So we will send you this partner stand form through Google Docs. If there's anyone here who can't use Google Docs for some reason, you can just contact me, and we will make a solution for that in a different way. But you will need to fill this out, and once you have, you will be able to change your information and go back to the form until March 8th. So after that, there will be no other changes in this form, and preferably I would like you to have decided everything until then, because otherwise it's going to be like thousands of emails back and forth, and yeah, just to make sure that everything is as clear as possible. And if you have any questions regarding the form, or if there's any information missing or something that you don't understand, please reach out to me and I will answer all of your questions.
All of your questions, isn't that like music?
Oh yeah, 2 clowns looking for tickets. Okay. Trying new things. Yeah, that's what we do. You know that tickets to Women in Tech conference has been very, very high in demand. I think the record so far is 45 seconds before they were fully booked. And it has always been kind of a lottery, because you have to be there on time, and you have to sit and reload the page, and then you have to fill in your info, and then you maybe get a ticket. So sometimes the servers crash. Sometimes the providers don't realize that when we say this is going to be like an overload attack, it will be an overload attack. And we don't want that anymore. We want to do great things. We want to try new things. And this time it will be a lottery, a raffle for real. So it's in a few stages. You will be able to register to say, yes, I want to go on April 17, and this is my information. And you won't have to panic. It will not be a race game. It will not be a speed game. So a couple of days to actually register your interest, and then we will do the raffle. then we will sort of say who can come in each category. And that's the next part. Right now we are sort of setting these categories, having a certain amount of students and young professionals, a certain amount of developers and analysts and engineers who are leaders and managers, who's a tech curious, who's in HR recruitment and so on, business sales and marketing and so on. So there will be quotas for each category so that we can actually say that, yeah, how many developers are at your conference? And we can say 50% or whatever percentage we say that it will be. This is under formation right now. This is something that we are sort of tweaking and testing and trying out. And more information and communication about this will be sent out as soon as we have set everything. But this also means that we would urge you as partners to have this in mind when you allocate your tickets, to make sure that you don't only invite a certain type of people. Make sure that you actually have some of the youngsters and some of the developers and maybe some C-level people. People of all genders, of course, are welcome, but we tend to have mainly females, and we're very happy about that. We're very proud about that. So we start communicate about this quite soon, about February 6th is the date right now. And then we will have the actual raffle. When we bring out the tickets, people get to know if they got a ticket or if they are on the waiting list on February 16th. So that's like the ticketing window. This is what we know right now. Things might change. It's a new way to do it. And what we want to achieve is to make sure that everyone can feel that they at least have the chance of getting a ticket. So that's what we're aiming for. And
it will be fun.
Yeah, this will be so interesting. And we'll keep you posted. And of course, when we say that this is the percentage of students and young professionals that we are aiming for, we will share that with you. But I would be happy if anyone reached out to me during the mingle and say that, why didn't you have that one in your categories? Or where would I be? And so on. So take the opportunity, because this is a working process. And how would you as a partner, what would make you happy when it comes to the mix of people being present? I think that's what we want to do. We want to have a great mix of people. Did I forget anything?
No.
Moving on.
We're going to the partner thing. This is what they want to know.
This is your tickets.
Well, so as we said, we're working together with Trippus that we did last year. As you know, when 2,000 people coming into what from at the same times, it becomes a line in Stockholm with happy persons that get a cup of coffee in the morning. And now we are into April, so we're hoping that the sun will shine, there will be no raining. But the partner tickets, I think it really, really works smoothly when they scanned it and printed everything on the entrance last year. But what will happen is that you will get your link to register your partner tickets. For the main partners, we have 50. For the co-creating, we have 20. But you also know that you have your staff tickets. So altogether, it's 55 or 23. And how you use these 23 tickets, it's up to you. If you want to make sure that we have 3 people working in a stand only, or if you are moving around with them. But all the tickets are personal. You cannot switch ticket in the doorway because we need to know who was there from security reasons, of course, as well. But you will get this link on 1st of March from Michelle, and she will send it out. So either you can register or the one who's get it, all the persons, or you can forward this link to someone to fill them in yourself. And then I think that this is something that we will have. We haven't decided on exact when we close it, but it will be open until like the early hours of the day before.
And the actual tickets, the entrance ticket is a QR code that you will get on your mobile phone the day before. So that's how it works. That's how you pass into the entrance.
And you show that to the entrance, and they flip it, and they print your badge, and they put it on from a more sustainable way. We who's working with events for many years know there's a lot of badges hanging that were from people that didn't come. From a sustainable perspective, we've chosen to do this instead. All tickets include lunch, but we talked about catering. It doesn't include alcohol or drinks in that kind of way that we have on the mingle, but you are able to buy like a badge of 10 tickets branded with your name that you can hand out to persons that you want to stay for the mingle or within your staff and so forth. So that's a possibility as well.
And
Did
you
I
will
for-
be able to buy alcoholic drinks as well. And I think we will also have soft drinks that we
Soft drinks are
Give
free.
out for free.
Alcohol you buy.
we made a decision that we will not put a glass of alcohol in everybody's hands. That has to be a choice that you make.
We had a very popular gin and tonic bar with a non-alcoholic gin last year. That was a fantastic one. I don't know if everybody understand that it was non-alcoholic, but
Everyone was happy.
everybody was very happy.
Part of the fun.
The placebo effect. Yes, and Michelle will be your contact around this as well.
And all the drink tickets and everything will also be a choice in the form.
In the form. Everything's in the form.
Yeah.
So, as we've been talking of different kind of add-ons, I will now announce and introduce an initiative that we have started. We have always talked about that we don't only want to do stuff on the big conference. As we said in the beginning, now that we started working another way, we would like to be more active throughout the year. What we are introducing this spring is something called Women in Tech's Förebilder. Förebilder is role models in Swedish. We work with role models, inspirations, and networking. And someone else who's doing that is Fanny Widman. Please stand up. This is Fanny. Fanny and Elin has worked together in different initiatives since Almedalen this year. You have to step into the camera here.
Hello, camera.
And from this spring, and hopefully starting in February, we will start recording this mini season where we have 6 episodes. And Fanny, you have a pod already.
I do.
It's called
It's
Fanny's Förebilder.
Fanny's Förebilder, Fanny's role models
Mm.
in English. Yes.
How many episodes recorded?
256 or 51, somewhere around that, I think. Plus, like bonus episodes around the election and so on.
Yeah.
Last year.
You were the only one that were able to talk to all of the ministers before the election.
Yeah.
The only
Well,
podcast producer.
Yeah. That's
That's
me.
cool in my eyes. So, and I think this is something to be able again to bring out role models, but not only because we would like to bring all the role models up on main stage at the 17th of April, but we will not be able to. And this is where we can sit down and have a more of a deep down discussions and get to know the persons around it, not only what they know and how they get there, but a little bit of personal portrait.
And as we talked about, important to talk to role models that people can relate to. And talk to
Definitely.
them, like you talk a lot about joy, so they can tell about the joy in their work and so on.
Mm.
But it's someone you can relate to.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think that representative and relateness and role models is something that we need to work with more,
Yes.
more and more active.
Mhm.
So you will see and hear more about Fanny throughout the year.
Yeah.
Welcome on board.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
You look very good in the cap.
Yeah. And did we mention that you can be a part of this as an extra sort of sponsor for the podcast? Because it says right there, but let's just say it out loud as well. So if
We're going to say it out loud.
Yeah.
You can sponsor episodes one by one, and we're going to try it out now for the 6 first episodes, and you can sponsor one for 30,000, and then we will see and evaluate how it looks like. We have a lot of other discussions with companies to be like the overall sponsors, but we want to try it out in a smaller scale first. Like to try it.
Have a big reach. Like
Yeah,
social media and
exactly.
so on.
Both you and we together. So I think if you're interested, please reach out to me, and we'll be happy to continue that. We already have 2 companies that want to have this already. So I think it's going to be fun. Yes, I think we are about to sum it up, right?
Let's see, more contact info.
There will for you to have a look at when you come home. So you have everybody's email addresses and phone numbers. This is the ones we give out. I have to say something. I have to admit something when we presented the Women in Tech team. I forgot someone who's actually joined just the other day. And that's Ylva over here. Can you please stand up? That's Ylva. Ylva is going to help us out taking care of the volunteers. We have more than 40 volunteers at Waterfront, helping us taking care of the codes, making sure that people find their way and so forth. Ylva was a volunteer last year. She's also one of the new partners of the year from Sylog. Ylva is also my childhood friend. Happens to be. So she's part of the Women Tech team as well. But this is the contact information. If there's anything you want to reach out, these are the persons to reach in the first hand. Next time we'll see you, you're going to be invited to Stockholm Waterfront on February 15th. Then we have our on-site meeting. Some we will talk about some rehearsals or repetition of what we just said, but it will be the time when you see where your stand is going to be located. For you who hasn't been there before, it's the first time to walk around in the area. They will be divided into groups, and there will be a walkthrough, and we will try to tell you what will happen in the different areas on site.
And we've finished with the presentation and also a Q&A session for all your big questions and itty-bitty details to be able to talk to Michelle and Elin and the rest of the team. So I think it's an important day that you are there, the people that will work with the event.
Definitely.
To be on site.
And then the sun starts feeling for real when you're actually at the premises. Good.
Now we have just loaded you with information.
And we made it within 58 minutes instead of 60. Please, any immediate questions? You can, of course, talk to us at the mingle, but is this something you want to would you recommend? Would you give a tip to someone, or do you have a question that we haven't covered? Sanna?
Can you share anything about the speakers on the main stage and any names?
For the one online, this asking about the speakers on the main stage. And now Elin is starting to moving around like this.
Before I have actually signed the deals, I'm not going to say too many names, but there will be people that you have seen at Women in Tech events before, and there will be plenty of new names. Of course, we're going to talk about AI a lot, cybersecurity. Can't skip that one. Of course, trends and what's happening right now. Some future insights, if you can even have that. But also talking about reskilling and upskilling. What's happening right now? What are you looking for in the companies? What kind of talents and skill sets will be needed? What's needed exactly right now? And where do we see this in 3 years and 10 years? So that's some of the themes. I have a speaker that I will not say the name of right now, but he is a professor in AI. She's from Bolivia. She did her doctor's degree in Copenhagen and is now working in Germany. She's written several books and worked within deep learning, machine learning.
They're going to Google her now.
Yeah.
So
And that is someone that I'm so proud of. But we're going to sign the deal first.
We will release them continuously from now, both for you to have a look at what you talk about in your stand and if it's a possible focus session, but also for press to come and meet them at site to make some coverage. We have some really good coverage from Vilma. You remember her, the eye tracking girl that was the 18-year CEO that was on stage, Dagens Industri, made fantastic coverage on her, and all the others ones as well. So I think there are some opportunities definitely for that.
And if in the mingle you want to talk about how to work with employer branding inside your own companies, talk to Sanna, who just asked the question, because they have been doing a really big work at Tobii, where she is. And I bet some more of you have as well. So
please share with each other.
Do share, because this is helping the industry in so many ways. That's what we do. Okay.
Good. More questions? Yes?
I have a question about the focus session.
Yeah.
When do you plan to release the speakers, and also when approximately do you think you can send a link so for all the colleagues to join online?
You mean to join online for the live session, for the focus session? It will be the link on how to join. It will be live on womenintech.se. So everything will be in the agenda there. So you will find all the live links there. When we will be able to share who's going to be there. We are closing the focus sessions forms on March 8th. But as soon as we have everything in place, when it comes to description, the name and speakers, we will get it as soon as we can online, and we can start communicating it from there.
Yeah. So what we are actually focusing on right now is the ticket release. To make sure that we really have that as good as it can get right now. But you will get the link to pitch your focus session in this presentation, and I think we'll send it out tomorrow.
Yep.
And that's when you can start sending in your suggestions for focus sessions. And also, how do I know if I get a focus session? Well, we will tell you as soon as possible. And why we do this pitch process is that I and some of my friends that you can see here can also make sure that we don't have too many of the same topic, that we have good descriptions, and that we can help you tweak if there's something that we don't really see as clear. Most of you that pitch for a focus session will get it, as long as we're not too many, because there's a limit to the rooms. But if I can see that there are some companies that are really on the same subject, I might suggest that you do this one together, to share the stage, to share the cost, and also to be even more credible in the area, to say that this is something that's important, not just for my company, but also for our colleagues in this industry. So that's sort of the process. And often we get so many great ideas for these kind of sessions. And sometimes some of these sessions is something that we would say, this should really be on the main stage. So, it's an editorial process in many ways, to see that this is what your best stories are, pretty much. So pitch for focus session starts pretty much tomorrow. Yep. And we close it on March 8th, and some of you will get your good to go even before that. And the speakers will be up on the womenintech.se website as soon as we got all the information that we need. And that's also in the form, so that we can prepare as much as possible. What goes in the form is what we will use for the event app and for the website. So it would be a good idea to open the form, see what we're asking for, see that you're prepared, and then you open it again and start submitting. Did we answer what you were wanting? Yep. Thank you so much. That was Swedbank, long-time supporter. Anything else that is good for everyone to know? Questions?
Well, now you know how to ask during the mingle and some of the other one motion. There are some other women in tech t-shirts here as well, and caps. Now you can start doing women tech questions. It's fun.
You can ask me. I don't know if I have an answer, but I can try.
Good. I think that's when we stop. I think Kai and Stefan online, thank you so much for joining, and everybody else who's listening to this recorded version later on. Thank you so much. Talk to you later.
Thanks. This was helpful.